his spy. And the disciples picked up 12 basketfuls of broken pieces that were left over. The number of those who ate was about 5,000 men, besides women and children. Immediately, Jesus made the disciples get into the boat and go on ahead of him to the other side while he dismissed the crowd. After he had dismissed them, he went up on a mountainside by himself to pray. Later that night, he was there alone, and the boat was already a considerable distance from land, buffeted by the waves because the wind was against it. Let's take a look at what happens next.
Why did he walk away just when we're getting strong?
Surely a Messiah wouldn't leave us like this. A Messiah should be a warrior, a conqueror like David.
Judas, force is not the way.
So tell me what the way of Messiah is.
He's different.
But Mary, what if he's not the one? We're risking our lives. For what?
He has shown us his power. We must have faith in him.
Come on.
He'll not fail us.
He said he'd meet us on the other side. Let's go!
You need to be strong.
Guys, I want to talk to you a little bit this morning about a story of faith, but a story of stepping into the destiny that Jesus has prepared for you. Before I get into that, though, I want to talk to you guys a little bit. Everyone here knows what a metaphor is, right? This really happens in the Bible. It's a story that physically happened. But I want to talk a little bit about the metaphor of it, about how we can transform what happened there into our lives. The storm you see in this situation is literally a big saltwater ocean with crashing waves. The storm you see in our lives can be different things. The storm you see literally is an area of your life that is dangerous. It's the area of your life that if you gauge in, you will sink. It's the area of your life that if you walk into, temptation will overtake you. It's the area of your life that is keeping you from going where you were called. A stormy sea can be different things to all of us. It can be lying, cheating, stealing, cussing, cutting, banding, or snapping, which is actually a new one to me. There's different things in our lives that can be the stormy seas that we go through. Stormy sea essentially is the temptation and the sin that keeps our eyes off of Christ. I want to tell you the metaphor of this story, what a boat is. A boat is safety. A boat is complacency. A boat is something in our lives where we feel comfortable. But I want to say Christ didn't call us to be comfortable. Christ didn't call us to be complacent. Christ invited us to walk on water. Christ didn't call for us to sit in a boat. Christ called for us to walk on a storming sea. When Peter was in the boat, it was scary. They thought they were going to drown. They were trying to turn around. And instead, they saw Jesus in the future, in the distance. And Jesus said, come, follow me. Keep your eyes on me. Walk towards me. And this stormy sea, this stuff in your life, this hurt, this pain, you're going to rise above it. You will walk on top of it. So as it says in the story here, Peter has a decision to make. He has the lion in front of him, which is the boat. He can step out onto the sea. He can trust Jesus. He can look into the eyes of Christ and follow Jesus. Or he can stay in safety. The actual meaning of the word faith is to have complete trust or confidence in something. The different apostles in the boat, they were sitting there and they said, Peter, no. Peter pushed him away to go step on the raging sea. When Peter stepped on the sea, he was walking on everything in his life. He didn't notice the waves crashing, the thunder, lightning. All he saw was Jesus. Peter was walking towards Jesus. How many people in this room have ever ridden a bicycle? Pretty much everyone. I would say it's safe to say every person in this room has ridden a bicycle at some point in their life. When you're riding your bicycle, if you're only looking at your front tire, what's going to happen? You're going to crash. You don't see the pothole, the tree coming, right? You crash. Same thing's true. You ride your bicycle, you look to the side. That pizza looks good. Ooh, she's cute. Whatever it be, where you're looking, you start to be. It's true. Wherever you're looking in life, that's where you go. Jesus told Peter, when you step out of the boat, look at me. Follow me. If you take your eyes off Christ, you see your helpless despair. Your stormy sea overtakes you. When Peter was walking on the water, he's walking towards Jesus. He didn't notice what was around him. It was when the temptation started sneaking up. When he looked and he saw the lightning. He saw the thunder crashing around him. He saw the giant waves. That's when Peter sank. This is one of my favorite parts of the entire Bible. If I could be anyone in the Bible at any time, it would probably be Peter at this moment. Peter is falling. He's drowning. The waves are crashing upon him. He's sinking and drowning in his despair. That's where we are in our lives when we come in. We're contemplating suicide. We're cutting. We're snapping. We're doing these different things in our life to take our eyes off the pain that's surrounding us. And Jesus reaches down. He reaches into the stormy sea and he pulls Peter out. He grabs Peter by the hand. And this is where I want to be more than anywhere. Peter's holding the hand of Jesus, walking back to the boat. Would that not be the greatest walk in the history? You are walking on top of the stormy sea, holding the hand of Jesus. Jesus literally is reaching into our lives, pulling us out of the despair that we're in every day. The hurt, the pains. All he asks us to do is have faith in him, to keep our eyes on him. When we're walking, not to worry about those things that are crashing in around us. Yes, we have to pay him a little heed sometimes. Don't get me wrong. But Jesus is calling us to look at him, spend time with him, to build faith in him. And we have the faith, and we're looking at Christ. Nothing else matters. We're walking on the things in our life that hurt us so bad. We're walking on the dangers. We are above them. How do we build faith? Anyone know? How do we build faith? We read. We read the Bible. Yes. We pray. We spend time with Christ. If you want to get to know someone better, you two know each other? You do? How do you know each other? What do you do? So you spend time together, right? Yeah. You get to know someone by spending time with them. Same is true with Jesus. If we show up here on a Sunday morning for a couple minutes, we're never going to get to know Christ. It's when we read our Bible, when we pray, when we engage. Another great way is through small groups. We're going to break into small groups here in a couple minutes. This week, I know a lot of times we just have fun and kind of joke around a little bit, but we're in small groups. I'm going to encourage you guys really to open up, really to share kind of what's going on in your lives a little bit. Talk about the problems, the temptations that you're having. Keep your eyes on Jesus. Something we don't do up here very often. We do it on cards and stuff, but we don't actually, from the pulpit up here very often, do a salvation call. Isn't that sad? This past Wednesday night of worship, we had 11 new salvations in our church, which is absolutely amazing. So I'm going to ask real quick. Everyone in this entire room, close your eyes, bow your head. Everyone, leaders included. Everyone just bow your head. I'm going to say a prayer here in a minute. And if you've never prayed the salvation prayer before, I'm going to ask you to follow this along with me. If you have prayed this prayer before, this is not for you. If you want to follow Christ, if you want to take another step towards Jesus, if you want to keep your eyes on Christ, you haven't been doing that, this prayer is not for you. If you have prayed this prayer before, you are a Christian for life. We're going to say a separate prayer afterwards. This prayer is just for if anyone has never accepted Christ in their life. They are hurting. They have divorce in their lives. Their parents are going through a divorce. They broke up their boyfriend or girlfriend. They did something sexually that's hurting them. Something's been done to them without their permission. You're at that point where you're starting to cut, snap. You're contemplating suicide. You're contemplating hurting yourself for someone else. You know that you need Jesus. You just don't know how to look for him. You're trying to reach to him, but you don't know your next step. Pray this prayer with me. Just say, Jesus, I want to follow you. I know the blood that you shed on the cross is more than enough to cover me. You've washed my sins away, and through you I have freedom. You will take my hurt and my pain. Come into my life that I may follow you. If you've prayed that prayer before, and there will come times when you still have stormy seas in your life. There comes times when you need help and you need prayer. Say a prayer that says, Jesus, I'm going through so much. I know that you're the Lord of my life. I need help right now. I'm hurting. For some reason, I can't keep my eyes on you. I keep looking at the fear and the temptations and the sin in my life. And I keep walking towards them. I don't want that anymore. Jesus, I want to follow you. I want to take your hand and walk upon the stormy seas of my life. We're going to break into small groups here in just a minute. If you prayed either of those prayers, I greatly encourage you to talk to your small group leader about it. Keep your heads bowed and eyes closed 1 minute. If you prayed either of those prayers, guys, I'm not going to call you up front to embarrass you or anything like that. No one around you, no. Just raise your hand, please. Make eye contact if you're more comfortable with it. I see your hands. Anyone else? Awesome, guys. When we break into small group, we have a couple questions prepared for you. Please, everything you guys say in small group is 100% confidential. It stays in this room. It's time for us to build relationships with each other and with our leaders. I want you guys to know we're here for you throughout the week. When you're having pains and hardships in your life, every one of you should have one of our cell phone numbers. Or email. Call us, text us. We are always here for you. Okay? Love you guys. Shannon's come up and give you guys some next steps. I'm proud of all you guys.
Give them a round of applause, guys.
As he said, there's a next step that we get to take in our lives. So those of you who just have just said that prayer, we have a next steps getting started kit that we all want you to have. If you do not have a Bible, you're more than welcome to one of these. We have one for everyone.